Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Placebo Effect Podcast, episode number 17. You know, we like to switch it up, and we're very serious around here, so we figured, why not do a throwback to the 1970s theme version of the song? This will all tie in at the end of the show, I promise. So welcome everybody to the show. As we did last time, we like to recap what's coming up. We've got all kinds of really crazy things. As always, my co-host, my good friend, my wife, my partner, my cook, and the person who hits me with frying pans when I need it, the one and only, Shannon is here. Say what's up, Shannon.
I just ordered a few extra frying pans from Amazon.
Not Prime, I hope. I hope it's going to take at least a week so I can prepare. That's the problem with Prime. Prime fixes a lot of things, but when you have Amazon Prime, you get your frying pans way too quickly.
Yes, you do.
You need a cooling off period. There should be a section when you're buying a lot of frying pans. It should ask you a questionnaire. Are you Italian? If you say yes. Are you cooking pasta? You say no. Are you hitting your husband with these? If you answer yes, you get the frying pan in 4 days, because you're still going to hit him with it, but you'll be cooled off. So you're not going to hit him as hard.
That's a brilliant $1 million idea for all the wedding registries. The frying pan kit to keep your husband in line.
There you go. The frying pan kit. So we're going to have some frying pan humor, apparently. We have a bunch of things coming up. We've got our usual Florida questions, and Florida headlines, and Yahoo answers, and
Florida problems that we have answers
to. Or we try and figure out what the hell happened and how to solve it. We also have got our Kubo movie review, and we suffered some technical issues. Might as well disclose to you guys, because I even employed my good friend Scott Snyder, who used to work with me at Edge of Reality. He's an audio designer and a great guy. And I finally got to interview Barry Temple. And I'm going to blame this on the, you could say user error, but I've done enough of these where I know it wasn't on my end. We had a little fuck up. All right. And for lack of a better word, we fucked up. It essentially, the computer, I upgraded the software, Windows mandatory upgrade, Windows 10, and there's part of the problem. And apparently it ate my baby. The interview went fantastic with Barry Temple, and the result was the computer swallowed it whole. So unfortunately, we're not going to hear that interview with Barry, even after I had my good friend Scott Snyder, the audio engineer, try and work his magic. There wasn't much he could do. So instead, we're going to have to settle for a non-Barry interview, but we do have some fun things coming up, so don't go anywhere. For example, here's some Florida headlines.
Now it's time for Florida headlines, brought to you by mosquito nets, Mickey Mouse, and swamp ass.
July 1st, a Florida man rips a hole in a store ceiling, steals more than 70 guns, and flees on a 3-wheeled bicycle.
So the guy takes off on a tricycle? A tricycle full of guns?
Just picture that. It's making me crack up.
A tricycle full of guns should be the new Florida logo. That should be a guy on a tricycle with a bunch of guns. That is nothing more Florida than that. And then right after that, the following day on July 2nd, Florida man dressed as a pirate is arrested for firing a musket at passing cars.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
Yep, it's the old Jack Sparrow in the middle of Florida.
Don't you remember when we lived there, you'd be driving down the road and you'd see random people just with crazy signs protesting, like, I don't know.
Obama's a Muslim.
There's all black colleges, there's all black churches, and nobody complains. But if whites have all white college, all white church, they're racist.
I think it comes from a history of the fact that they had to, because of segregation, they had to establish their own schools and churches. Yeah, African Americans.
Well, that's true. It's segregation. Everybody got along good.
Go back to Muslandia.
No, most of it was impeach Obama, but it would be crazy stuff like, free the crickets or something.
Yeah, there was all kinds of weird, crazy shit. So what happened after that?
July 13th, a Florida man steals an operating table from the hospital. What he's going to do with it, I don't even want to know.
I don't even want to know either. I mean, what is he going to do with an operating table? What do you need an operating table for other than to create operations? There was that one guy that was running a plastic surgery thing out of the back of his house, but that's its own freaking problem. I don't even know what you would do. What else would you do an operating table for?
Well, Halloween is coming. Well, that was back in July, but you could play real life human operation game. You know, where the nose turns red and it goes, eh.
It's Operation the Wacky Doctor's game where you're the wacky doctor. Batteries not included.
My turn.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was a pretty crazy one. And the following day, on July 14, a Florida man steals $2 million worth of Legos. I don't even know that. What is that?
How many Legos is that?
It's like a Lego vault.
And where the hell did he go?
I know where he went.
The Lego mansion?
No, he went somewhere cooler than that.
Everything is awesome.
Oh.
Everything.
He went to Legoland.
Yay!
Everything is awesome. Living our dreams.
Come on, everybody, sing along.
Everything is better when we stick together. Side by side, you and I.
Yes, we're dancing like chubs right now, like a bunch of chubs. We're recording really, really late at night, and we're both loopy as hell, and we're listening to this music, and it's sounding really, really crazy. Because everything is awesome. Everything is awesome on 98.5, The Rock. Give us a call if you got any songs, but the only one we're going to play all day and all night is Everything is Awesome all freaking day. All right, that about sums up how much time we got on that one. I can't play it for any longer without having to pay the royalty, and I don't have any money to pay anything. So what happened after that guy? After he stole all those Legos that disappeared, what happened?
July 16th, a Florida man makes an unpaid, unsolicited endorsement for Apple products.
You know what the fun part about the Florida man who was endorsing the products?
No.
Well, there's an actual recording of it. This is the literal endorsement, as the thing says, unsolicited endorsement, and it's very unsolicited once you hear who it is.
iPhone, MacBook Pro, baby, Apple Watch, iPhone, MacBook.
So
Pro,
it's a Vine,
Apple
and
Watch.
I'll put the link to it so you guys, so our viewers can view it.
iPhone.
And it's a guy, and he's holding up the various items as he's describing them.
Yeah.
And it's very unsolicited. And he's a Florida
MacBook
man
Pro, baby. Apple
because
Watch.
he's Jeb fucking Bush,
iPhone.
looking like a fucking idiot, like a goddamn chub. He goes, iPhone, MacBook Pro, Apple Watch. And then promptly after that, we almost had to shut the whole place down. By we, I mean me, because I work at Apple. Oh my God, I hadn't mentioned it before. So everybody who's got a new iPhone 7 and you don't like the earpods, you think you're going to lose them? You're welcome. No, I had nothing to do with that part of it. I will announce what part of it I did work on or what I had to do with when it is announced on TV. And why is he telling us now? You know why? Because I want full disclosure with my people. I want to be honest and upfront with you guys. And yeah. And that's why all the secrecy when I was talking to my friend, the game guy, or my other friend, the movie guy, or my other whatever. And now you guys know a little bit more about me. So we definitely don't want Jeb Bush endorsing Apple. We definitely don't want Jeb Bush endorsing anything, but definitely not Apple. And he is definitely a Florida man, at least by association and by being the governor of said Apple. I've said Florida. On July 14, a crack smoking Florida man, he's being chased by the police, so he drinks Capri Sun to rehydrate. You know, not water.
It's very specific.
It's very specific. And I don't know.
Not Gatorade.
No, Capri Sun. And did he have the Capri Sun on him, or did he?
Was it like a giant package that they could see as they were chasing him?
I don't know. Did he run through a Capri Sun shop and then
not want to give it up when they finally arrested him?
Who would want to give up the Capri Sun?
What the hell is Capri Sun anyway?
I'm glad you asked.
Capri Sun fruit drink in the take-along cup. 10% fruit juice, nothing artificial.
There's only one Capri Sun. It's great, tasting fun when you punch open one.
There's only one Capri Sun.
10% fruit juice, nothing artificial. I got this one from the 1980s commercial. The more modern ones are probably a little bit less stupid, but 10% fruit juice, 10%.
So is
but
it
nothing artificial. So it's 90% what? Water
and sugar.
If you had water and lemon, and you say 10% lemon, nothing artificial, then you're like, well, what's the rest of it? If you said lemonade, it's going to be 3 ingredients when you make it naturally. You've got lemon, water, and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just 3 ingredients.
Yeah.
But if you say it's lemon, water, and nothing artificial, well, then you're like, well, what the hell is the third thing? Anyway, Capri Sun. That was basically the craziest Capri Sun commercial. And that's what you're drinking when you're running from the cops in Florida.
And now it's time for the TV Movie Entertainment Review. Brought to you by Texaco and Proposition 215.
Kubo and the Two Strings is an epic action-adventure set in a fantastical Japan from acclaimed animation studio Laika. Clever, kind-hearted Kubo ekes out a humble living telling stories to the people of his seaside town. But his relatively quiet existence is shattered when he accidentally summons a spirit from his past, which storms down from the heavens to enforce an age-old vendetta. Now on the run, Kubo joins forces with Monkey and Beetle and sets out on a thrilling quest to save his family and solve the mystery of his fallen father, the greatest samurai warrior the world has ever known. With the help of his shamisen, a magical musical instrument, Kubo must battle the gods and monsters, including the vengeful Moon King and the evil twin sisters, to unlock the secret of his legacy, reunite his family, and fulfill his heroic destiny. Kubo and the Two Strings was awesome. And that is our movie review intro. And this is the official song that we're playing in the background till we get pulled down from YouTube for copyright infringement, but who gives a shit? This is important, and I wanted to play it. We went to see it, what was it, last weekend? I guess it was last weekend. Mm-hmm. And everyone should run out and see it. We're not even going to bury the lead. It's a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And for those of you that don't really go by reviews, let me just give everyone a little quick explanation of how that works. So Shannon and I can agree, we can disagree. But if Shannon and I were 100 people and only 3 of us disagreed, then 97% of us would be in agreement, right? Yes. So when you count the amount of reviews, if you get a 97%, that's almost like that commercial with the Dentine or the guy that, it's
4 out of 5 dentists.
4 out of 5 dentists, and then one of them got bit by a snake or whatever, and he said no, but everyone else agreed. It's the same kind of scenario where if you've got a gigantic majority, you're pretty safe to assume that it's good. Now, it's not to say that every reviewer is going to agree or disagree or going to be on your side or whatever. A lot of people, usually it's for shitty movies. They're like, oh, I don't care what the reviewers say. I'm going to go see it anyway. And then, for like a Suicide Squad or something to that effect. In this case, 97%, I'd even go as high as 98%. It was, first of all, it's amazing. If you guys have seen Coraline or the Box Trolls or any of the other stuff by Laika, it's an insane style of animation where they literally have to, photograph 24 pictures of a model and move it slightly from, picture to picture, from frame to frame to animate it. So you see Kubo's hair, literally moving back and forth, or you see, any kind of running around. And in this case, there's all kind of subtle animation. But on my end of it, and then Shannon's going to jump in and give her review of it. I'm a big fan. I've seen some of the older stuff. I'm not the biggest Ray Harryhausen fan, which is probably one of the people that started this process back in, Sinbad, and he did, Clash of the Titans, and he did like King Kong and all these kinds of movies back in the 50s, and it's really, really crazy animation to do because they have to have a model that they move ever so slightly, photograph it, move it ever so slightly, photograph it. And for a movie that's an hour and a half long, or I think it's an hour and a half or whatever, that's an insane amount of literally handiwork that they have to do and photograph it. And in this case, they take it to a whole other level with, environmental effects. There's snow, and there's water, and there's, flying birds and creatures and things. And I cannot speak highly enough about this movie. And the story is beautiful. The animation is beautiful. The story is beautiful. The characters are well developed, and they're well voiced. By the two main, the monkey and the beetle, are both Academy Award winning actors, Charlize Theron and all right. Matthew McConaughey, of course. Matthew McConaughey and Charlize Theron are probably the two most Asian people that they could get. I'm kidding. We're not going to go there. We're not going to get political. Plus, it doesn't matter. And in this case, it's irrelevant because they're cartoon characters, so that you don't need an Asian actor to play the part. And in this case, because it's only set in, in a fictional Japan, it doesn't even matter whether they were really Asian characters or not. If you disagree, write your letters, write your angry emails and send your angry tweets. But in all honesty, my personal thoughts is very impressive looking. They definitely stepped up the bar. Coraline was the movie that Shannon and I saw. Basically the primer for her to get excited about Kubo, because we had seen the trailer for it, and honestly at first I was like, I don't know, this is like a weird. I thought at first it was a 3D animation, and really the trailers didn't catch me. Maybe that's been the problem for them, is just really bad marketing. You don't really get a sense of what the story's about.
It looked cool from the.
It looked kind of cool, but you really couldn't tell what its story was.
Yeah,
what is it about?
You didn't know what it was about,
right? So for me, I was kind of like intrigued. Like I like all that kind of animation, so I was like, oh, we'll check it out. But once you see it, and we didn't see it in 3D, we saw it in 2D. But once you see it, you don't forget it. It's really beautifully done. And that song was Regina Spektor, by the way. All rights reserved. Regina Spektor playing the Guitar Gently Weeps by George Harrison, which is basically in the end credits, and appropriate because it is about a kid playing a magical Japanese guitar type thing. It's not really a guitar. It's called the I think I said it in that intro.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
The shamisen. So go ahead and give them your thought, Shannon.
So the animation is really cool. For anyone who loved the claymation kind of old things from our childhood, it's almost like 3D claymation, and then but add to it like amazing realistic lighting and everything like that. So that's really cool. The environments are amazing. Literally, the water is sparkling. You feel like you're in the trees or wherever they are. It's really cool. The story is really touching and moving.
Without spoiling anything.
All of the animation with the movements and what they do, they really incorporate the music. I really love the sound of the Japanese, what is it, shamisen?
The shamisen. It's kind of, I guess, a small, not really a spoiler, but you guys probably saw it in the trailer. When he plays the shamisen, which is essentially almost like a 3-stringed Asian banjo, he can bring things to life. Like he has like paper origami type things that he can animate and things that move. So there is plenty of magic in that world.
Like the choreography of the music between the animation was really something special. So I loved that. The music was just really moving and haunting and exotic sounding. So yeah, I'm really sad that not a lot of people went to see it and they spent all this time. It's a work of art. It's a great story. Slightly sad. I would say it's not really. I would say it's a little more geared towards adults than little kids.
I think I think I agree. I don't want to discourage anyone from seeing it. It you do leave happy and you leave with a smile on your face and everything. But you know, if you've gone to see anything Pixar, you've gone to see anything Disney, those movies always have a dead parent, and they always have. You know, it's almost like, you know, from as far back as the Brothers Grimm, all those stories are always parents are dead, parents are, you know, leaving, or you know, somebody, you know, it's always something traumatic. But more on the technical side, I did want to say one thing. It has a very particular look, and if I guess I will put the link in the show notes to some of the behind the scenes stuff. Well, I don't know, maybe because it might ruin it, but it is really impressive because it's because it is photographed. They are lit, so it's not CG lighting or anything. Like for me, I live in the CG world, so CG lighting is what I'm used to for movies and things like that. When you're creating your 3D effects, this is 3D because it is physical objects, so they're photographed. So you do get a feeling of like almost like hyper realism, like where it's like almost like a throwback to those like 70s and 80s. You know, when you had like Rudolph
the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but they're
right.
more, I don't know, more artistic and real because it's along with the appropriate lighting.
Well, it's what they've been able to move. They've been able to kind of advance in the armatures and everything and how they animate them. Like back in the days, those were a little bit more rudimentary. So they get a little bit, they get a lot better facial animation and better.
They move much more fluidly.
Right. They have a lot more fluid movement, and the behind the scenes thing shows like these sets are like enormous, really, really big sets that they have. So go check it out. It's in 10th place right now. I think the biggest competition is Magnificent Seven or the Peregrine. What is it?
Miss Peregrine's
School for Magical Children.
Yeah, Unusual Children.
Unusually Magical Children.
Which we're going to see along with Magnificent Seven.
We're going to double feature it. I don't know if we're going to be able to double feature it. We're going to see one or the other.
We'll see Magnificent Seven because that's been out longer.
Okay, so we'll see Magnificent Seven since Mrs. Peregrine's School for Magical Children is probably going to be out for a while. So the rumors are that is the number one movie this weekend. So you guys are listening to us on Monday, and we're recording this before we actually go out for the weekend. So we'll let you guys know when we get back what we thought of Magnificent Seven. But I definitely give it a very, very enthusiastic.
Absolutely.
For Kubo, a very, very enthusiastic thumb up. And I'd say on a scale of like totally awesome to flaming piece of shit.
Yeah.
I give it a totally awesome.
I give it a totally awesome as well.
And please do yourself a favor. Again, go see it as soon as possible because it is in the 10th place, which probably means that it might be in the theaters for a week more after this. So once you guys hear this on a Monday, you know, I don't know if you guys have any time off during the week. If you do, you know, hey, cool for you. And if you don't, hopefully it's there next weekend. If not, you're going to have to catch it on DVD, but it's definitely worth seeing it in the big screen because it is pretty epic. So that was our movie review for Kubo. Coming up next, we've got a brand new segment, so don't go anywhere.
This country, you got to make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
So we've got a brand new segment. So brand new, we're premiering it right now. And we have, of course, coming up on this episode, we've got a Massachusetts word of the day. But for all of those people that are, you know, not Spanish speakers and can't use a Massachusetts word of the day, or maybe you're English speakers and you would like to learn Spanish for your trip to Miami, the other side of the podcast, one side of the podcast is from Massachusetts, the other side of the podcast is from Miami. We'll let you guys figure out which is which. But right now we've got the premiere of Miami Talk. So let's say you find yourself in Miami All right, Shannon, let's say you're down there and you know how everything in Miami's in English, right?
No. They all speak Spanish to me, assuming that I know.
Well, you know how all the restaurants and everything is in English, right?
Yeah, no. Even the menus are in Spanish.
Well, you know how that show Miami Vice, everybody spoke English, right?
Yes.
All right, that was totally fake. Even those guys were dubbed into English. In real life, they were speaking Spanish. Oye, Croque, ¿qué pasa, Croque? Dímelo, Tops, ¿qué está pasando, Tops? That's actually how it was. Like, if you listen to it in a third world country and they would like dub it, ¿qué está pasando, Croque? Yo no sé nada, Tops. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, Croque? No sé. La droga, la cocaína. ¿Por qué, Croque? No sé, la cocaína es muy mala. Pero tu suit es muy lindo. Sí, es blanco. El suit es blanco. Y mi alligator es muy grande. But that's not the word of the day. The word of the day, so you guys can be native in Miami, would be the word coño. Coño. A very multi-purpose word. For those of you in Miami that are listening to this right now, he's saying he's starting them with the powerful words. Yeah, I want my audience to be up to speed. So if you go down to Miami, you must know coño. What is coño? How do I use it?
Well, why don't you use it in a sentence for me? But let me pronounce it in
Go for
my
it.
ultra John Wayne.
Don't do it.
Super non-Spanish.
You say it right.
Well, don't fret about that, Pilgrim.
Coño.
All right. So there's different ways to say it. Let's say, for example, someone wants to ask me like, hey, they want to say, hey, I heard grandma got sick. You say, coño.
Oh.
Right? Like you're like saying it like, expressively. Somebody says to you, hey, asshole, you cut me off in traffic. Coño.
Coño?
No, not coño. You have to say it with anger. Coño.
Coño.
Right.
Okay.
If somebody says to you, hey, we got the tickets. We got the tickets to the concert. You say, coño. Right. And if somebody wants to start a fight with you, and they want to have a fist fight, they get in your face, you tell them, you get out of my face or I'm going to hit you un coñazo.
I think you made that
No, I didn't.
Coñazo?
People in Miami, yep, they're all nodding their heads. Coñazo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And if someone is, someone wants to be, kind of like a little bit weird with you and you don't know how to like get them out of your face.
Like weird?
No, weird like, you're like, this guy's getting a little bit closer to me like, oye, coño.
Like wicked weird?
Coño, mira, oye, coño, mira, coño.
I know mira.
You know mira?
I know mira.
All right, give us some of your Spanish from Miami.
Coño.
Sí.
Mira.
Sí.
Las chancleticas es muy grande.
Muy grande. Las chancleticas son muy grandes. Coño, qué chancleta.
Yeah.
Sí.
Chancleta? That's big.
No, chancleta is shoe.
Oh.
Chancletica is little chancleta, which means
zapatos was shoes.
No, zapatos is shoes. Chancleta is flip-flop.
Ah, gotcha.
So you can say, coño, que chancletas, meaning, wow, what an amazing pair of flip-flops. You could say, coño, que mierda. You could say, that means bless you, you're drinking too much. No, coño, que mierda. It would be, man, this sucks. That's a piece of shit.
Oh, no.
You could say, coño, como estamos gastando tiempo. That means, damn, we are wasting so much time.
We are.
Coño, use it next time you're in Miami. Now it's time for the Yahoo Answer. Now it's time for the advice section. Sit back, relax, and listen to us, because we know it all.
Am I a prostitute?
No, baby, just record podcasts. Are you selling this on the side?
No.
Why are you?
Apparently, this is a Yahoo answer.
Oh, no. Then, yeah, definitely no. Then you're not a prostitute.
I'm not, but somebody was writing in asking if they were.
I'm going to say no. I think you would know if you're a prostitute.
Well, let's give some real advice here. If you're having sex with other people and getting paid as a job, then you are a prostitute.
A job, like benefits, you have to clock in and out, you get insurance, there's a boss.
No. Maybe if you're on a bunny ranch in Nevada, but...
Yeah, actually, those are pretty legit. I hear that they do clock in and out and they have a boss and everything.
Yeah.
But then do they call themselves prostitutes? They call themselves escorts? No, I don't even know what they call themselves.
I don't know.
Maybe they call themselves masseuses.
That's only here in San Jose.
No, that's everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
That's everywhere. They have those same places. Go ahead and tell them the story. This just happened today. In fact, we're going to post up the picture.
Okay.
People are going to figure out where we live if we put the picture.
Okay. So we have this building that advertises spa, grand opening, all this stuff. So we first moved here.
We might have mentioned it in one of the past episodes.
No, I don't think we did. So I was like, oh, great. It's a spa. And it's called, well, I'm not going to say what it's called. But anyway, we looked it up. And instead of a legit...
The name changes every couple of weeks.
Oh.
I mean, it's something. It's though you said it's grand opening because it's a different one. You literally, and before anybody goes, oh, he's looking for it. No, we have to see it on the way to the expressway. On the way,
we pass it
every single
day.
time before we get on the highway.
So anyway, we looked it up to see if it actually was a spa advertising massage.
We're driving it, and we're like, oh, great! It would be great to go get a massage. And you pull it up on your phone, and what comes up?
It comes up on Rub Maps.
Well, baby, me so horny. Me so horny. You keep lying. Me love you long time. Okay, $10 each.
What do we get for $10?
Everything you want.
Everything?
Everything.
Yeah. So anyway, this evening I stopped by to pick up some Chinese.
To get your feet massaged.
Because it's Saturday night. We need some takeout. And right by the spa, which is open on Saturdays at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. You know,
like a spa
who
would.
knows, like a regular spa would be open Sundays. There's a couple of protesters with signs that say, does your wife know you're here?
What?
A big circle with a line through it that says no Johns.
There was another one that says real men don't pay for it.
Oh yeah.
And there was like a third sign. It was a third sign that said San Jose deserves better.
Yeah. So anyway, I usually am completely oblivious and I'm never fast, but I happened to snap a pretty darn good picture.
She got a great
because
picture
it was
of
cracking me up.
So the answer is those ladies, they definitely know they're prostitutes. And you should know too. It shouldn't be a weird question about whether you know or you don't. You should know. And I have a question here for you that maybe you can help answer, babe.
Okay.
What do you think of women wearing headscarves?
I think they're lovely. They can be very nice accessories. I happen to like headscarves.
You know what I think of women wearing headscarves?
What?
I think of Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh yeah.
I think of Rhoda. I think you're gonna make it after all, kid. Kid, you keep wearing that headscarf.
Oh my god.
It's kind of ridiculous, babe. Headscarves only if you're suffering from chemotherapy and you've lost all your hair. But come on.
I saw him watching Rhoda on YouTube and couldn't figure it out earlier.
Because it's a great show.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's why.
I think my mom's in love with me. What do I do?
You think your mom's in love with you. How do you know? Has she taken you out on dates? Is she washing your clothes? Is she cooking you dinner?
That's what moms do.
Around here, we just call that your wife. And just kidding. We both take turns cooking.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
When Angel's in trouble, I have a joke on how I'm going to line up all the frying pans that we have to whack him. And when I get extra mad, I threaten to go buy some more on Amazon.
Yeah, we've got quite a collection of frying pans.
Yeah,
but it's not necessarily like they're saying, you know, your mom loving you. I mean, maybe is your last name Targaryen? If your last name is Targaryen, your mom might,
or
you
live in Florida. Oh no, wait, that's just teachers.
Right. If you said my teacher's in love with me, then we know where you live. You live in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say your mom's in love with you, you might be living in King's Landing. What do guys look at in a girl? That one was actually yours. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what? I'll do mine.
Yeah.
And then you can do yours.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do each other's. All right. So let me see here. Mine is, okay. That's a good one. Why did he watch me give him oral sex in the mirror? Why did he watch me give him oral sex in the mirror? Well,
I do believe that's my question to answer.
Go for it. Why?
Well, duh. What's wrong with this girl? Does she not realize that people like visual stimulation and that's like seeing a sexy movie, only it's happening to you?
That's a good point. I had never even really thought about that because that's just not the first thing that popped into my head. I thought you have to look in the mirror to make sure you're not getting, blown by a ghost.
Oh, no, I think that's vampires.
Right, exactly. So why was he looking in the mirror to make, while I was giving him oral? It's one of the few ways to verify that the person is actually there. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
You have to know. Go into the light.
No, you said no.
That's right. Yeah, all are welcome, children.
I'm just going to say that if he sees that in the mirror, there's going to be no oral anything because things are just going to go limpity-limp. You remember what that lady looked like?
No.
Pretty bad.
She was kind of adorable. She was probably one of the lollipop kids. I think she really was. I remember her. She was one of the short people. She was I think she was one of the Lilliputians too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been in a bunch of stuff. She died. I think she died relatively recently, and by that I mean 25 years ago. Go ahead and you do the next one.
Okay. What do guys look for in a girl?
It depends. I think it depends on where you are. What do you think guys look for in a girl? And I'll tell you what.
I think that initially they look for whatever they're attracted to.
Like butts and boobs and
so it could be but everybody likes, I think guys like different body types. Some guys like super thin, petite girls. Some guys like more curvy women. Some guys are all about the big boobs but can't stand a no butt.
So Turk, this Elliot chick is pretty hot.
She got nice boobies.
Awesome boobies.
So how's the butt?
Flat, just like I like it.
Oh yeah. JD's gonna hit that flat, but JD's gonna hit that flat, but JD's gonna hit that flat, but JD.
I think there's an innate what you're attracted to.
What else do guys like? Some guys like a big upper jaw. Some guys like floppy ears.
I don't know. I mean, it's very individual.
Some guys like giant toes. Some guys like reversed knees.
That's fucking weird.
Some guys like an expanded thorax. Some guys enjoy, nice wings.
Oh, wings.
Some guys like, hidden gills.
Oh.
Some guys.
What are we on, the X-Men or something?
Some guys, you know what? Some guys like detachable fingertips. Some guys like fiber optic hair. Some guys, you know what?
Like fiber optic Jesus at the flea market?
Some guys like 4 lids on the eyes that crisscross.
Now you go in Total Recall.
You know what? Some guys like 3 boobs.
I think some guys do.
Some guys like, big belly buttons.
No guys like big belly buttons.
Enjoy a really nice distended belly button. You never, just
Nice lint-filled belly button.
No, just sticks out like an Audi that sticks out so far it looks like you're, stealing mangoes.
What do you want, Mr. Quay? The same as you, to remember. But why? To be myself again. You are what you do. A man is defined by his action, not his memory.
You're gonna give me nightmares tonight. You're so weird.
Some guys like really sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some, and about the boobs, whether you're a big boob guy or not, if a girl's got big boobs, some guys like it, and some other guys like it too. I've never heard some guy go, man, this chick had too many boobs. It was just too big, too much. There could be like she had no boobs, or it could be like she had no butt, but nobody goes, she had too much boob.
Really?
Yeah.
What if
she might have too much butt?
What if too much boob is hanging to the floor? That's too much.
That's
boob.
different. That's gross. Man, she had draggy tits.
Oh,
man,
not
she
too
had
much,
some floppy
too
flops.
draggy. Okay.
No, big as in like, oh, they were enormous. Like, you could be like, oh, they were gigantic. It could get to the point where it's like, I wanted to go out with her, but I needed a friend to come along so they could support the boobs.
Oh.
They were so big.
Okay.
No one ever complains about that. Boobs are fine. Boobs, butts, it's all good. So I'm going to say, what does a guy look for in a girl? It depends on the age. You said it's depending on what they're attracted to. I think when you're younger, it's a sexual thing. When you're older, some guys look for girls with nice families, sexy curves, and the ability to record a podcast effectively.
You still have to have an innate attraction. And then those other things, it depends on what drives you crazy.
The thing that attracted me the most to you, which I never said to you, was when you gave me that business card that said, I'm good on podcasts.
Oh.
And I said, you know what? I don't know what that is because it's 7 years ago. But fine. That sounds good. I guess it's a future thing. And we'll try that in 2016. And we did. So I'm going to do the last one. Is it normal? Is it abnormal? Oh boy, here we go. Is it abnormal being a virgin at 25?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
You should go take care of that immediately.
And the reation why you say it that way, Shannon, which you're being kind of cruel and mean, is because you know it's a dude.
I don't know it's a dude.
Well, there's a 98.5, 99.7, there's a 102% chance it's a dude.
You think?
If you're a girl, any girl, if you're a girl listening to us, congratulations, by the way, we love our female audience. But if you're a woman, if you're a female, when was the last time you had a hard time picking up a dude? How about never?
Yeah, but it may be that,
finding a guy for a fix.
It's not that she didn't find one. Maybe she was super shy and was afraid. And now it's like, oh, I'm 25. I was saving it for that special
She's
someone.
25.
Now I've just held out and
She's
now
25.
it's weird.
She walks into any bar, anywhere on this planet, walks into a bar, sits down, and she's going to walk out with somebody. If she's pretty, she's going to get hit on by 1,000 guys. If she's okay, she's going to get hit on by 800 guys. If she's ugly, she's going to get hit on by 500 guys. And if she's some sort of like hideous wildebeest, bow-legged, winged, upper thorax, double jointed, 5 eyeballs, 4 tits, all that shit that I said that guys were attracted to. If she has all that weird shit, she's going to get hit on by 110 guys. And if she's possessed, I'm talking about Linda Blair spin your head exorcist, she's still going to walk out with somebody. Because the guy would be like, dude, I don't know. That might be useful for something. That might be good.
So if it's a dude, what's a dude to do?
Oh no, guys are screwed. They a guy, if he's 25, you don't want a guy with no experience. Because if you're 25, you know what happens when you're a 25-year-old virgin? Do you know what happens?
What happens?
Yeah, they were nice. When you grab a woman's breast and you feel it and it feels like a bag of sand.
A bag of sand.
Touching it.
Bag of sand.
You know what I mean.
Talking about.
Have you ever felt a breast before, man?
Yes.
Yeah, no. You see, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
And we've had conversations with people like that. Like I've had conversations with dudes that they're like, yeah, man, I was with this girl, and you're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, we were like sexing and stuff. You're like, no, this guy's never even been close to a woman. Maybe a mannequin at Victoria's Secret, but never a real woman.
So what's your advice for the dude? What's he to do?
My advice is if you're 25, as sad as it sounds, come to San Jose, go get a massage, walk around the picket line, just ignore those dudes and be like, guys, you don't understand. I'm 25 and I've got to take care of this. And they'll be like, real men don't pay. And it's like, well, that's why I pay cash, because if you're 25 and you still haven't gotten rid of it, women can smell the inexperience. So it's going to be really, really, really hard for him, to kind of get that out there. Even though I've always heard that fantasy of like, well, sometimes girls want to be the first and sometimes girls want to, be the ones that are like, oh, I popped his cherry. I took his virginity or whatever.
I don't know anyone like that.
Well, supposedly, it's definitely, it's cool for the guy where he's like, oh, he gets to say that he took a girl's virginity or whatever, but it's usually not as cool for, I think, the girl,
the lady.
Yeah. For the guy, you want to be the guy to be the leader. So, So you know what time it is, Shannon?
I think I do.
You know what time it is, right?
I got to get ready.
You preparing yourself?
I'm preparing.
And now it's time for the Massachusetts Word of the Day, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts.
How do you like them apples?
So what is the famous Massachusetts Word of the Day today, Shannon?
Irregardless.
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 Irregardless. Can you use it in a sentence?
I can.
All right.
Irregardless of whether or not the football is a little bit flat, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback that ever lived.
Yeah, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback that ever played the game.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, you could say anything about you want to say about New York. You can say anything you want to say about anywhere else. Irregardless, Massachusetts is where it's at. The Patriots, the Pats, forget about it. There's no way. Tom Brady, whether he's with Giselle or not, or whether he's with some other beautiful model that happens to be even more beautiful than Giselle, or whether he's playing for the Patriots, or whether he's playing for the Pats. So long as he's playing for Massachusetts, irregardless, he's going to be the best.
And we do have to give a big shout out to Big Papi, who is retired.
Oh, Big Papi.
Very sad to see him
Big
go.
Papi is retiring. You know what? Big Papi, thank you for some awesome games, some awesome experiences, and keeping the fans happy. And since we're doing shout outs, I did want to give a shout out to a couple of new countries that are listening to us now that are pretty impressive. We got a couple of hits in our last episode. By the way, if you guys haven't heard the last episode, it has some pretty crazy stuff that we're pretty proud of. We've got a interview with the dead presidents. My impressions weren't that great on that one. But I still laugh at the one show that I keep getting people going like, oh, some people on Twitter were being kind of jerks about it, going, oh, they've got Elmo in there, so it's kind of a bullshit thing. But you know what? It came out pretty good. We're pretty proud of it. Shannon and I came up with this crazy idea. Don't ask us where we come up with this stuff because it was pretty weird. But yeah, so Elmo and Samuel Jackson as cops. Check it out. It's called Lethal Tickle, and that's on the last episode 16. On this episode, on the last episode, we got some viewers from Kuwait, from Al Kuwait. So to them, I'd like to say, I'm going to probably murder this, but Ahlan Bika and Shukran. That's, welcome and thank you. And we got some Thessaloniki, Greece. And to them, I'd like to say, Efkaristo Kaloshorisma, which is also thank you and welcome. And I apologize for bastardizing the language. My Greek and my Arabic are not on point. The cats are starting to get our attention. It's past midnight here. But definitely join us next week for another fantastic episode. We're going to do a different little outro this time. This is, I remember hearing about this, but I didn't bring it up on the last episode. We'd like to thank everyone for listening and joining us. And we'd like to give a shout out to this young man who died at 94. And we all know him from our childhood. He's the guy playing the harmonica. Oh, there it is. You're a kid all over again. The Placebo Effect Podcast has been brought to you by the number 17.
Hey, wait, I think I see Big Bird walking through the living room.
All right, you guys better finish this stupid show.
And also by viewers like you. Thank you for joining us for the Placebo Effect Podcast.
Please come back next week where we'll have more funny stuff.
And also more crazy, stupid things. And also brought to you by viewers like you. Placebo Effect, Placebo Effect Incorporated, and the Placebo Effect Podcast is not sponsored by Sesame Street or anyone else. But if you do enjoy our show, pass us along. As always, at PlaceboPod, placebopod@gmail.com, and also the Placebo Effect on Instagram.
Have a great week, everybody.
Have a week.